Hey everybody, welcome to Surface Level, a show that takes a look at society's expectations and rejects the ones we don't see it for, all from the perspective of three Black queer best friends. I'm one of your hosts, Tony, and today, Jordan, Damon, and I are discussing the pressure to find our Black king. Do we feel more pressure to settle down as we get older? Do we believe hookups can become lifetime partners? This is SUP, looking into SUP, looking into. All right, now, let's get into it.
Let's.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
Here we go.
Okay, so today I wanted to start this episode off with a little bit of like a this or that. And it's kind of like getting your thoughts on style and approach. And so go with me, follow me on this journey.
I'm following.
Everyone has had a Grindr account at some point or another on their journey towards becoming America's next top or bottom.
What's that?
You know, I mean, it's true. And you a goddamn lie if you say you never had a Grindr account or a Jacked account or one of those. You know, it's no shame. So I kind of wanted to know about, you know, when people send you a message on those apps, the greetings are always so
Short.
They're like typical. And so I wanted to know the type of Grindr salutation you might respond to. So Damon, what if someone hit you up with, "What's up? Looking?" Or, "Hey, what brings you on?" Does any of that get your attention?
I feel like I'll respond to like, "Hey, what brings you on?" or like, "Hey, how are you?" Because I like people that can form sentences.
Good grammar.
But just like
This tact.
you can put a few words together. Like I'm not saying you need to like write me like a soliloquy or like
Come on, soliloquy.
send me a haiku. But I'm just saying like at least put like more than a half of a word together and say "sup" to me.
I feel that. I really do. Because the rest is like...
And I'm not even at high maintenance when it comes to things like that. But it's just like you're an idiot.
Right. And it's just like... but you go, Jordan. I want to hear Jordan's response to this.
I
feel a lie coming on. I don't know why.
I feel alive.
It's dark
A
energy.
lie.
It's dark
A
energy.
a lie.
A
It's
lie.
not gonna be. It's not gonna be a lie. It's gonna be the truth.
It's really dark energy.
It's gonna be the truth.
All right,
Sure.
well,
And the truth is, I will respond.
To anything.
Yes, actually, I'll respond to anything if the picture is right.
Oh,
If you respond with a picture in the first message,
okay.
and I like the picture, honestly, the
Don't matter.
message don't matter. Unless it's just like really offensive. Like bad grammar, terrible punctuation, like that type of stuff. But if you just say like "What's up," but you
That
have like
offends
a,
you?
but you have like a, it does, actually,
She's spell checking the girls on Grindr.
absolutely.
Okay.
That sounds
Riddle
exhausting.
me this.
It's not exhausting. I don't spell check them. I just don't respond.
Right. He's not being like, you missed the comma.
Right. Like I just.
It was a comma splice.
You missed my response.
I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this.
I don't know what the comma got to do with your cat.
It's not going to have anything. We're not going to have anything to talk about at drinks. So it doesn't.
Oh, you're going to drinks off all your Grindr discussions. That's what we're doing. Okay,
Tony,
sure.
Let's move on.
Well,
Tony?
Similarly, you know, I draw parallels between Jordan and I in that because I think it depends on a sup or into, depending on what the photo looks like.
Depending on how you move.
I might or I may or may
You
not.
may not be going to the drinks, as
I
Jordan
may
said.
or may not be going to drinks. I may or may not be going to drinks, and so I'll stick with that because that's, you know, a picture does what? Says 1,000 words.
Hello?
Yes.
So send me that picture. We might be going to drinks. But let's try this. Along the same lines, I want to talk about what you're looking for. Are you looking for on Grindr relationships, no strings attached, or friends with benefits? Jordan.
Well, definitely not friends.
Ooh,
Why would I want a friend on Grindr?
the girls be acting like they want friends on Grindr. I don't know.
Do y'all want friends on Grindr?
No, ma'am.
Like,
Maybe.
What is it? No.
Why
Come
not?
on. No one wants friends on Grindr.
What if you just fucking find somebody you really just like talking to? Why you got to discount them because
Well,
you're on
that-
Grindr?
That can happen at happenstance, but who's searching?
I didn't
for
say I was
friends?
searching. I'm just saying like I'm not opposed to it happening.
The lies.
Right.
You think I'm
So-
opposed to friends happening? That sounds weird.
I'm not opposed to friends happening, but not on Grindr. I mean, maybe, but we're getting too deep.
Right.
All right.
So no, I'm not
On the surface level.
All right, we
I'm-
still on
I'm
the
not-
surface.
I'm not looking for friends on Grindr. I have amazing friends. You guys are lovely.
Oh,
I'm not looking to
They're
replace
not
you girls
that
this month.
stunning.
I don't know. I'm mostly looking for like, a very casual encounter, something fun, nothing too serious on Grindr.
okay. Touche.
Tony, what are you thinking?
So, I think
Ooh.
this is very
Well,
tricky.
That
This
was
is very
new.
tricky.
Sound effects.
I'm not looking for a relationship. I am not looking for friends. I could be looking for friends with benefits or no strings attached. That's what I mean. Listen, let's be real here.
Those are synonyms, no?
Yeah. Oh, potentially.
Oh.
Potentially.
Okay.
I
Potentially.
wouldn't say no strings attached and friends with benefits are
Are the same.
synonyms.
They're kind of
They're
in different categories
things.
a little bit. They're kind of in different categories.
Yeah.
But okay, so are you into role play, chilling with the homies, or good vibes and seeing where it goes from there? Damon.
Why are you laughing?
Is something funny you want to share with the class?
Yeah. I feel like I'm into wherever it goes. Just because like to the last question, like I don't feel like I'm looking for anything specific.
Okay.
Like I'm not putting people in the box of like because we are on Grindr it has to be sexual or because
What?
I'm not.
What are you looking for?
The thing is like so like
Well, you know the apps; those apps were not created for sex. They become that. They
but-
become
no, but-
that.
Yes, they
So we're giving them a
were.
bad rap.
No,
I don't think
are they?
They're not hookup. They're hookup apps now. There are, but I think the intention.
That wasn't the inception.
No, it was
No.
social. It was
No.
social apps. Look, but like in real
But
life,
you know,
one of
the
the
gays.
one of the friends that I've brought around this group, who I met on Grindr, we dated for a time in my life, and after dating for that time of our lives, that didn't work out. We've known each other loosely for like almost a decade now.
Right.
And like I bring him, he recently moved to New York, and like we've been friendly, and like I brought him around my friend, like you guys, and so on. Like, and we met in Grindr, like, and because of that, when we dated, I didn't judge him as like a person that I just met on Grindr. So that means that he just has to be like some
Bust down.
song and dance. That's not the
Oh,
word I
sorry.
would use.
All right now.
Oh, sorry.
Ghetto.
I didn't know that we were being so
I'm
PC.
sorry.
It is what it is.
No, we are. You can be whomever you'd like to be.
Me. That
Yeah.
would be the best.
A bust down.
I'm just me.
She's a buzz down. But I think that I don't care where you meet a person. Like they can be whatever you want them to be.
Okay. Well, I you know what,
What?
Jordan? Did you answer the question?
I think so.
I don't think you did, girl.
What are you into role play, chilling with the homies,
Oh,
or
no,
good
I didn't answer
good
that
vibes and
question.
seeing where it goes from there?
I'm into whatever I'm looking for in that moment, which is mostly a hookup.
I'm as old as time and as young as this moment.
So what role did you like to play, darling?
It's no role play.
It tells as old
But
as
if
time.
I'm on Grindr, it's like it's that Dream Girl song,
No.
One Night Only.
One night only. Is
We all know that
you
song.
have to spare.
No, I'm definitely not like searching for anything outside of
A good time.
immediate gratification.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That's very on brand. So for me,
That felt like a read.
It was a read.
It was a
wasn't
read. Do you feel red?
I feel a little bit red.
But you,
I was trying to be vulnerable.
red?
I was trying to be vulnerable, and Tony was like, yes, we see you, sis. You're a hoe.
you see how he victimized the situation? Now he was trying to be vulnerable.
Now she the
I'm
daggone
Candace
villain.
Dillard.
I mean, okay.
You gonna drag me?
You gonna drag me?
Listen.
You want me to?
You want me to?
You gonna drag me?
Listen.
Okay.
I'll say, okay, for me, I think that I like the good vibes and seeing where it goes from there, but also I'm into things.
What are the things?
I could dip and do it, baby.
Oh, what? Dip into what?
Let's unpack.
Listen, well, we can unpack. It depends on what
Would you like to unpack?
how I'm feeling in that moment.
What's
Like,
the dip and what's the do?
The dip
Well, because
and the do.
Me and Tony are engaged right now, so based on the last episode,
we just got married.
We just got
All
married.
right, because
got
Damon
married.
cooks.
Damon and I
And
just got
Tony
married.
eats.
Yeah, Damon cooks, I eat.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Get me out of this recording.
So, Jordan just left the room, guys.
right. Jordan just left to go to a hookup.
Ooh, no, you know what?
Right.
No.
He's going to drinks.
She texting somebody right now.
Yeah. You know what? Ooh. That's how you. That's how you
Now
clear it.
that's how
I
you
was
clear
actually
it.
checking my alarm for tomorrow because I have a status meeting in the morning. So
okay.
I was
Sure.
trying to make sure I was going to be
I'm
awake
sure.
for that.
What's
Yep.
the status?
The status is the Monday
Yeah.
of the mornings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
So what, as we've gotten past our yesteryears in the 20s, do you find that there's some level of pressure as we enter our 30s to find kind of to be more specific about how we date or be more specific about who we date? Maybe Jordan, let's start with you.
Absolutely.
Our dating guru.
She's the dating girl.
I firmly believe that, you know what, from my experience, let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
That's the.
You can
only
only
one
talk
you
about
have.
your experience.
You know, because I was going to say absolute, but it doesn't apply to everyone. So I think that from my experience, I definitely want to make sure that, like, now in my 30s, I want to be a little bit more thoughtful in who I'm dating, a little bit more conscious of shared values, shared interests.
What are your values?
What are my values? I think someone who's family centric, someone who's ambitious, who really wants a lot out of life. Someone who is kind. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like I want to date someone who's on the same page as me. And
It's an expensive page, ladies.
it's not an expensive page. It's actually a very moderately priced page.
You better come with a check.
That page is
Book.
gold leaf embroidered.
But yeah, no, I just feel like I definitely feel like I date with more intention these days. Like, I just feel like in my 20s, you know, you go out and you have a good time, and someone you have fun with them, so you like spend time with them. But I think that more recently I've been more so like, you know, what do you want out of life? Where do you see yourself when you're like, oh, you can't really move? Like, what does your life look like? And does it look like what I want my life to be like?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been more important to me, which is so strange to think about. Yeah.
Jordan, Tony.
When it comes to the pressures of finding a forever partner entering our 30s, I struggle with that because part of me feels like I should be a whole human being by myself, and I think Damon and I share similar thoughts here, where I feel like I should be whole by myself. Then someone else coming into my life is sort of like the additive, and together we have a thing. I am not the most relationship oriented. That my mindset is not like I have to be with someone, but as I've gotten older, I do see the value of having a person. It can be so fun. It can be so beautiful. When it's good, it's really good. And that excites me.
Mm-hmm.
I love having that person that just knows everything about you and that you can do everything with no inhibitions. That's amazing. And it really, I've had that experience, and I'm glad that I know the other side, but I also don't put any pressure on feeling like
You have to have it.
I have to have it, and I have to have it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know the commercial, I want my money and I want it now.
What word?
I want it now.
So what?
What?
Huh?
The same commercial.
You on drugs?
Yeah, switches are on drugs. You're going to jail.
Period.
I feel like y'all put something in this wine.
Sure,
Sure.
but I again, I don't put any extra pressure on myself to find that forever person. Now, I am more open now. Later in life, like I'm this old bitch. I'm not this old bitch, but later in life, I actually am open to dating. If there's someone of quality that wants to put their bid in, I am open to it. But I'm going to be intentional about it, like Jordan was describing. I'm going to move differently and navigate it differently.
Right.
Unlike when I was, dotting and bopping.
Yes,
I don't do that anymore.
Sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love that for us.
I do too. It's special.
And
It is special.
Not that carrying on.
Damon.
I'm actually in a really weird place in my life. So like typically I've always been the one that's like loved relationships and the idea of love and the idea of long-term commitment because my parents were together for like 43 years. And with this past summer, we talked about this in the first season of the show. Like my father passed, and I look at my mother and I look at how the pain of that situation,
Yep.
and the idea of going from truly living as a we for decades on end, and then the point in which where like you could no longer be a we, and I think it's also maybe a byproduct of my grief that I feel this way right now.
Yep.
Excuse me. But I have a hard time with the idea that I could be with a person and then I could not be here anymore and put them through that much pain.
That's deep.
I have a hard time reconciling the idea of joining into a partnership or relationship with someone and understanding that they may not be here or I may not be here, and then I will have to, in many ways, reshape the life I thought I'd have to be something different.
Isn't it
And,
crazy? It's crazy how life gives you perspective.
Because then to me, like and sometimes I think like, do I still even want that? Do I want somebody that will look at me potentially 30 years from now, and we've agreed that like we're going to spend our later years together, and like potentially I'm not here or they're not here, and that's a thing that is new, and it's hard.
That's really interesting, because I feel like when you go home, like you have your experience with your mother, right? Who is experiencing life without her partner. But I think in the same breath where you experience her dealing with this difficult moment in her life, you also are seeing that like it was such a huge part of herself.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, wouldn't you want to experience that? Where someone was so much like a part of yourself that it almost felt like it was you?
I don't know. Like, it's interesting. Like, I went home for like the point at which we're recording. I went home a couple weeks ago for the first time since like my dad's services and things. And being there with my mom, it's tough. Like, it's a thing where it's not just like she speaks in we. And like it's a thing that like I never noticed before because I've always thought about my parents as we. Like I even say like if you say if I'm talking, I'm like, oh, my parents this and my parents that.
Right.
I don't say my mother or my father. Like they grew up on the same street in Chicago. Like they met each other at like 16, and like now my mom's about to be 61. My dad would have been 61 a few weeks ago.
And that old school kind of love.
Yeah, that old school kind of, and like it's a different feel, and like it's interesting. My mom, like after my dad, but I'll never forget. She said to me, she was just like, we were in quarantine, and she was like, she was taking care of my dad every day, and he was going through all this pain because of his cancer, and she said to me, she was just like, and if I could do it all again, I would.
Right.
I believe it.
And it's a concept of love and of connection that like I don't even understand.
I think that we're all sort of like trying to understand that. You know what I mean? Like, because the thing is, like, I look at you and I have a small handful of friends who also like grew up with both of their parents. And I always look at that as like an aspiration because I grew up with like a single mother, and all of my cousins that I grew up with also had all single mothers. So when I see people who had like both of their parents, I'm just like, I think I want that. And it's very new.
Yeah.
It's a very new feeling. I thought I was going to be an independent bitch all my life. 'Cause I was just like, oh, girl, like, my mom did this by herself. I'm going to do it by myself.
Right.
But it's like, it's amazing to see.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting is that, like, as queer men, and when we think about relationships and we think about partnerships, it's much more chosen. It's much less about, oh, shit, I got my girlfriend pregnant. And I'm going to be present. I'm going to be a great father, like, which I believe a lot of Black men are. But for us, how do you think about, like, we meet people in different environments, and we meet people with certain levels of judgment on them. Yeah. Do you think that, like, in certain environments that maybe a bit more sexualized? We hinted on Grindr earlier. We think about bars and we think about clubs and so on, versus maybe if you meet someone at work or the park or coffee shop. Like, do you perceive those men differently as you try and find the thing we were just talking about? Tony, let's start with you.
Let's start.
Let's
get into it.
Let's unpack.
You know what? There's a lot to unpack there.
Okay.
I like to be open-minded about things. And when it comes to meeting people, if I meet someone on Grindr versus if I meet someone at a coffee shop, yes, I think that there's room and there's space for those relationships to evolve and get to a place where how I met you, it's evolved and grown from there, and it can become something different. Because I hate when people put people in these boxes of like, when I met you, this is what you liked. And like when someone said, oh, Tony doesn't like this. And I used to hate when anyone, whether it be a friend or a partner, saying what I do and do not like, because what in your mind I did and did not like, I may have changed. I may like those things now.
Oh,
I may have shifted. Oh, I like it now.
Oh.
You better believe it.
You better believe it.
So I think there's space for that. However, I would be a lie. I'd be a bold-faced lie.
Shut up. You know what?
I'll be a bold-faced lie if I were to say that there wasn't some subconscious in the back of my mind's eye, thought about like I met this person, how I met them, and that still may be a lingering factor when I think about how we evolve, right? Because I do think, and this is a separate thought a little bit, but kind of relates. It's like how you met them is how you lose them. When you think like there are certain things where I'm like, it's always there. It's like noted, but like what Jordan might say, like noted.
Ooh.
But what I do want to do is give the space. Just like I don't like to be put in a box, I don't want to put you in a box either. So I think I'm open. I'm open-minded.
Okay. Jordan, what do you think?
What?
Okay.
I think that like for the most part, if I meet you on a hookup app,
You're dead to me.
that's where I leave you. Personally, I've had very rare occurrences. Like last summer, I had someone who I met on Grindr who ended up being somebody who I dated for a couple of months. But that's not often, and I don't come into the dating situation like that as well. I prefer if I meet someone in a more traditional setting.
Traditional to who?
To me.
To me.
What makes it traditional?
Traditional meaning that sex is not in the air.
What?
Child.
What?
Now she lying.
I'm confused. Wait,
Why would you be confused?
let's strike that from the record.
Right.
We're not striking that from the record.
Sex is not in the air.
For who?
What do
You?
mean?
What does that even mean?
I feel like I would like to just meet someone out as just like a friend, someone who I just like casually just like engage with, and then the chemistry sort of like builds over time.
I like that.
As opposed to it being like, okay, like we're about to have sex tonight, right? And then tomorrow we can talk about actually establishing some sort of like consistency. Like personally, that's my preference. I would prefer to meet someone in the latter experience.
Okay. Okay.
Damon.
I think it's weird that, like, in queer environments, we think that having a sexual experience with someone off the bat is less intimate than getting to know them off the bat. Like, you can go inside of someone's body on the first night and be fine with it.
So nasty.
But
so rude.
Is it nasty or is it rude or is it real?
It's nasty, rude, and real.
Hello? Hello? I'll check that.
Not swirl on that.
not check. But it's strange that like you can do all that, but then like in the same sentence feel like the person you did all that intimate stuff with is not someone that you can be intimately involved with emotionally, spiritually, etc.
I'm not saying that it's not possible.
I didn't say it wasn't possible, but like even beyond you. Like I'm not just like in season 2. This is not a critique of Jordan podcast, which everyone thought it was in season 1. But like I'm not even just saying like with you, but like I think that like as a culture of gay men, we're just like, oh, I can have sex with you, but like if someone I really like them, then it's different. And like that's strange to me.
It is different.
But that's a commonality with a lot of people. It's like, if I really like you, I don't want to have sex right away.
Right.
But if
That's
you
normal for
are,
me.
But
if
like,
you are a slut from the 90s,
but
we could do that.
But like when we think about all these environments, though, if we think about Grindr and we think about Jack'd, you think about Bumble and Hinge, you think about a bar versus a club, and you think about a kickback versus like a small dinner, it's all the same people. Everybody in this room has had all of those.
Don't rope me up in that bunch. We are not a group.
You sit up.
We are not a group.
Oh, you love Brandy. You are a group.
We are not a
We
group.
are a group.
We are not a group.
But for real, like all the things I just talked about, everybody in this room has been a part of at some point. So like, what is the point in trying to act like because you met me if you met me on Grindr, I can't be the same person that exists at the new museum?
Well, look, I'm not saying that it's non-negotiable to like be able to establish something more deep after that situation.
Deeper than.
Than being inside of their body.
Okay.
How much deeper do you want to be?
Listen.
How deep is your love?
We can go deep.
Okay.
How deep is your love? Show love.
All right. So no, I feel like I don't necessarily have like a zero tolerance like rule for that.
She want to clean it up, yeah.
I don't. But I will say, yeah, I do sort of like compartmentalize my experiences. If I meet someone on a hookup app and we hook up, it's a hookup.
Oh.
If I meet somebody out and we have good conversation and a good rapport and decide to do something when the sun is still up, it's different.
Listen,
It's
because the girls don't hook up while the sun's still
Jordan
up
said
now.
if I put pig up, if I put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig.
Oh,
Well, no one's dating that.
so Jordan's a pig.
Jordan's hookups are pigs.
Oh no!
Wait, hold on.
What's
in this cup?
Drugs. So, what do you think about, like, say you're meeting that new partner and you find someone, no matter where they're from, and you
Okay.
say like, "Oh, this could be like something for me." How do you establish that relationship? What are the things that you talk about in the beginning of it? Tony, how are you feeling about that?
I definitely feel a way because now I feel it's very important, unlike when I was 22 years old or what have you. I think now
She old now.
you know, I'm a wise woman,
Come on.
and
She's a strong black woman.
I come from a place of being upfront when it's someone that I'm dating for the first time now, which I haven't been on many dates recently. I can recall maybe one or two in 2020.
Somebody come take Tony out so I don't have to marry her.
Listen, I'm available. You can call me at 202-5. Let's stop
Less.
there. But no, I think that it's important to establish up front your boundaries, establish up front what you want someone to know about you, establish up front, like get the information out in the beginning and not like, let's be adult here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a conversation. You know, I have baggage, you have baggage. We're both bringing baggage to the table. Let's put it all out there. So that way, 3 months in, 6 months in, I'm not
No
finding out some
surprises.
shit that's now like, well, damn. If I had known that on day 30,
Mm-hmm.
I would have, packed my baggage, and left and hit the bricks.
Bag lady.
And I like that because it's like you can, and I think it's okay if you want to leave a situation when you find out something in the beginning, or it just gives transparency. It really allows the person to make a decision, an informed decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
On both parts, and I think that's just so. It's sexy. Something is really sexy about just being like, this is me, take it or leave it. I think that's so sexy, and you'll go a lot further. And if people could get on that page, we would all be in relationships.
Hello.
Yeah.
Jordan, what do you think about, like, when you disclose things about your truest self?
Very close to the beginning. To echo Tony's situation, a lot of people say that they like to communicate, and it's bullshit.
The lies.
They don't want to talk about their vulnerabilities. They don't want to talk about their shortcomings. They don't want to talk about their issues. And luckily for them, I'll bring it up.
Hello? She
So-
has a list.
So I like to bring these things up sooner rather than later. I don't like wasting my time. I want to know what I'm getting myself into. If you're jealous, let's talk about it. What type of jealous are you?
Right.
I might be able to work with it.
Hello?
If you are controlling, what type of controlling? I might not be able to work with that.
Right.
Like, I feel like it's very important to work through those things because at our age, people aren't really changing drastically.
No.
People are pretty much who they are going to be
Right.
for the rest of their lives. So you have to be okay with dealing with that. And that's the musical chairs of love, where it's just like, does this work for me? Is this something I can deal with? Does my personality complement this personality? Do my flaws deal with this person's flaws? So I feel like I want to know that shit up front, like within the first 3 months.
Listen.
Like, how many kids do you want? What are you looking for in terms of, like, sexually? Are you looking for monogamy? Are you looking for marriage?
Right.
Like, where do you see yourself in 10 years professionally?
These are the questions.
All these things, because it's just
These
like,
are the makings of you.
because honestly, if it doesn't line up, let me know.
Let me know. Like,
Let
somebody
me
has to be
know.
the adult in the room.
Let
Hello?
me know.
We
Because,
can both be the adult, or I can be.
right. Because I will be for myself. You can sit
Period.
here and pit-pat around the damn bush and waste your own time. But, like, I need to
Reclaiming
know.
your time.
EYE. I.
Who? Oh,
No. Wrong road.
stop.
I
Next,
need to know
I'm going to just take this on
what's
over.
going on.
Yes. I like that, Jordan.
Period.
I like that. I like that.
Me too.
Love that for you.
You as well, boo.
I think that. Give me a minute.
Somebody give me a helicopter. Get me out of this camp.
Get me out of this camp.
Get me out of this camp.
This
All
is
right.
a camp.
I'll just cut that out. But no, I think that there's so much value in clarity up front. I would say, like, I'm not, out of the three of us, I probably will date the least amount of, like, truly, like, date the least amount of people. Just because, like, I don't like new people. I don't like the energy of, like, getting to know all types of folks.
Yeah.
And for me, it's one of those things where, like, if I'm truly in the space of, like, getting to know you and, like, being invested in you, I am being very upfront and very authentic and very clear about who I am.
It seems like dating Damon must be very intense.
Or fun.
Fun. No, intense is a good. Intense is a good thing. Intense is not bad. I think
It's just very
Interesting.
clear.
okay. I love that.
It's very much like, you know, the things that are meaningful to me. I expect that you tell me the things that are meaningful to you. And as we explore, there can be complexity to it.
Yeah.
And there can be things that we do or don't expect from each other. But the core basis of who I am, you will never be confused.
Right.
You won't. Like, you
The
won't.
makings of you.
These are the makings of me. Shout out to Curtis Mayfield. You won't ever
Is that
get.
the Monica sample?
Yeah, that's the Monica sample.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
my example. You won't get into, like, deep conversations with me without, like, feeling like you know who I am truly. And that's, I think,
But
valuable.
I love, and Jordan, we talk about this all the time. Like, we know what we're going to get from Damon. We know what we're going to get from Jordan. You know what you're going to get from Tony. It's all very distinctly different. But at the same time, it's like, even like when we prepare for the podcast and stuff like that, it's like we know
It's
how we might react. We just know.
It's a different song and dance.
Right. And I love that it's clear. And I'd rather it be that than I'm like trying to like get my way through this
Right.
fog.
You're not wading through the water with me.
Listen.
So then let's end on this. We've kind of grown up a bit. We talked about all being over 30 and the expectations changing a bit. So when you were 22, 25 even, you likely had different expectations or non-negotiables about what you thought your relationship would be. How has that changed? What are the things you've let go of today versus who you were 5 or maybe 10 years ago? Let's start with Jordan.
I think that one of the things that I let go of that I necessarily wasn't ready to let go of earlier on in my dating rapport was maybe age.
Oh.
So I think that when I first moved to New York,
And
I was
wait, age in what regards?
like an older man.
Okay.
I felt like I just sort of always had this insecurity about like, why me?
Why not you? If not you, then who?
Well,
You're the one, not the two.
well, hello, baby. Like I feel like it's easy to say that now, but I think that back then I was just like, these men are like more established. They're doing what they're doing. This is what I see for myself, and I've always sort of just been like, I don't really think this is going to work out. But I think that now that I'm in my 30s, I feel like age plays less of a factor.
Yeah.
And it's more about a mindset. And it's more about like shared values, like I talked about earlier in the episode, and just being on the same page. And I'm realizing that age is a lot less of a big caveat for me.
I was thinking about that.
Well,
It just was in my mind, that song.
Well, that gives me moments of R. Kelly, predatory moments. So I can't really delve totally into that.
Let Aaliyah sing the song, child.
Well, we can let Aaliyah sing that song when her family lets her stream her music on
I'm
all
waiting
the
on it.
platforms.
It's so annoying. It really is so annoying at this point.
When we can get the whole discography, then I can let it live. But no, I would say that I feel like at this point in my life, I'm a lot more open to just being around people that just share the same values.
How's that working out?
I think it's working out pretty well. Actually,
Actually.
actually, I
Okay,
think
well,
it's working out pretty well.
do we have an announcement coming soon? I'm confused.
No announcement.
He proposed to me.
You getting married too? I know Damon and I.
Me and Tony getting married.
That's
so
a theme this season, me and Damon's marriage.
Love
so
that.
you love that for us?
I love that for you
Okay,
guys.
I love something for you.
Me too.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about it.
We don't have to.
Next case.
Next case.
Mother T.
Mother T. That's my name. I've never been a relationship-oriented person.
She a hoe.
Again, I bring this back. I'm a slut from the 90s.
Oh, y'all.
I just don't listen. Y'all get on my nerves. I don't want to deal with all this bullshit. Like what? I can do bad all by myself.
We know.
Or with others.
Ooh.
You know. But
Invite me.
if there's I don't even think I had a list of non-negotiables because I don't think about you.
You absolutely have non-negotiables.
I have non-negotiables.
You are the most.
There are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, as it relates to like dating and stuff, I don't really think about it as much because I'm not really thinking about dating.
Bullshit.
But when I meet someone, it's not bullshit.
The lies.
I'm not thinking about dating. I'm open to it. But I think the non-negotiables, it's on me, and less about the other person, like what they bring and don't bring to the table. It's more about allowing myself to. Well, actually, I think I need to put myself out there more. First of all,
I agree.
To just be able to have non-negotiables for someone else.
Child, we getting married. You can't put yourself out nowhere.
Let somebody else see that butt.
My butt is big.
It is.
It's big, huh?
You gotta
You got
snipe.
collard greens,
Listen,
but
we'll put it in the stories.
We definitely will put it in the
I
story.
got collard greens, but it's
You
corn.
do.
It's corn fed.
it is corn-fed.
Well, you know what?
Cornbread and collard greens.
Okay. Well, I love that for me.
I love it
I
as
too.
well.
I love that for me.
I love seeing it.
We love to see it.
You got a snipes.
But I truly, I have several non-negotiables. I just don't know which ones I'm striking from the record. If I'm being completely
So
honest.
she's keeping them all.
I'm keeping them.
So
They're mine.
yes.
And
So say that.
I'm not gonna settle, bitch. The fuck?
I think it's my turn now.
I think it's your turn,
Damon,
Damon.
let us know.
I think that part of the things that were evaluated is the value that I place in a person's career. I think if you had met me at 25 or even earlier than that, it was just like, we need to be doing this thing and we need to be at X, Y, and Z and we're a power couple and yada, yada, yada. And I think that for now, it's about a person being driven.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's saying that like, I don't know, maybe you're a waiter, but like, is your goal to become a restaurant owner?
Do you have ambition?
Exactly. Like that's the thing that's more important. Like we meet a whole lot of people that like, maybe they have a decent corporate job that pays them a good amount of money, but they're lazy as fuck and they have no desire to go anywhere past their entry level thing. And that doesn't make them any better than anybody that is doing something separate or taking their career in a different route. And I think that as I've dated people who are from backgrounds different than ours, or from corporate ladders or things that are different from ours. It's made me value the point that the way that people are approaching their careers.
Right.
And it's not just about fucking money and being very like coordinator, manager, director, VP. Like, it can be so much more than that. Like, you can be an entrepreneur. You can be someone that is taking a field career and making yourself a divisional manager and making just as much money as me sitting in an office.
Right.
And I think that that's the thing that I'm more open to as I've dated differently and gotten more seasoned.
I think that's
So what waiters are you
important.
dating lately?
Oh, all right now. The important questions.
Well, there are no waiters because there have been like 5 restaurants.
There's a wait list.
The restaurants just opened, but no, but I mean, like, I've met people that have been like, oh, I'm working in a retail environment as a associate or as a cashier, and those people, like, for specifically like me working in retail, like, when you work your way up as like a store manager or a regional manager, that's a full-on career.
Yeah.
That career is just as valuable and it pays just as much as like some of us being in corporate spaces and working our way up through a corporate ladder. And I think that's just as valuable. So like for me, if I met someone that was just like, I'm waiting this way, but like actually I've also been taking culinary classes and I'm taking business classes because I'm opening my own restaurant in a year. I feel like I wouldn't look down on that person in the same way that I would have in like being very open and transparent 5 to 6 years ago.
So Damon the daddy is taking applications.
Get the fuck out of here.
Dad.
And
He got money.
He's giving dad vibes.
He cooks.
He's giving
He
support
cleans.
system.
And he does a few other things.
He's giving rent
I don't do anything
on
though.
time.
It's very nice.
You're giving
He made it nice.
French toast on Saturdays.
And,
I'm making you
you're
like-
going to museums.
I'm making like eggs and spinach
Doing very
with
interesting
things.
a little bit of
What?
coffee.
Yes, after paying all the rent. So
That's why we get married.
Tony's ready to stop working.
Okay, I want my eggs cracked.
I want my name dropped.
Well, there you have a big job to fulfill.
Well, I can do
You-
that if I'm not working.
Oh.
It's fine. It's handled.
All right. Well, this is the last episode of Surface Level.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have this week. Let's keep the conversation going, though. Let us know your thoughts and questions at surfacelevelpodcast.com. And if you enjoyed this discussion, please rate, review, and subscribe. You can also stay updated on Instagram and YouTube at Surface Level Podcast. And remember, stay curious.